Okay, so I've had a lot of messages from people requesting a video on my mount, so this is it. This is my mount. Not the prettiest, but does the job. It's really quick and easy to attach and detach. It's just one thumb screw which connects to your scope. I didn't actually get any video of me making it, but I did take some pictures, so I'll show those in a bit. But before I talk about how I actually made the mount, I thought I'd show you how I physically attach it to the scope. It uses a bracket like this. Now, you've probably all seen these little torches you can buy for lamping, and they nearly all come with a little mount that comes in two halves. One half attaches to your torch and the other half to your scope, and then you just tighten down the thumb screw and the dovetail holds the torch in place. But of course, in place of the torch I put one end of my mount. Now, the mount itself is made out of plywood, and I just used a router to round over the end so that I could clamp it down into the torch mount. And the camera is simply held in place by a bolt that's been drilled through the plywood. Now, to get that bolt in exactly the right position, I took the plywood, cut it into an L shape and just rounded over one end of it so that I could fit that into my torch mount. Then I had quite a large flat area where I could move the camera around, put different packers under it to get the level just right, and then I could mark it and drill the hole. Once I was happy with the position of the camera, I just cut away all the excess wood with a jigsaw and then rounded over the edges, not only to make it look nice but also saves a bit of weight. Now, I cut it into an L shape for a reason, and that was to allow enough room for my hand to get in there and cycle the bolt and also get to the zoom settings on the scope. One other thing I did add was a little block underneath the mount, which I cut to the contour of my rifle butt. This was in case I ever knocked the camera downwards or sideways. I didn't want the leverage of the mount pulling on the torch mount and ruining my scope. With the block there, the camera and the mount are completely supported and rock solid. I did also try out spraying my own camo pattern on there, but it didn't turn out too well, so I ended up just wrapping loads of camo tape around it. Obviously the camera mount's custom made to my camera, my rifle and my scope, so it's not really adjustable aside from drilling new holes in it or adding new packers, but there are some things you could do if you did want it to be adjustable. One thing you could do is slide the camera mount back and forth through the torch mount, which would make the camera get closer or further away from the scope. You could also, instead of drilling a hole for the bolt to mount the camera on, use a router and cut a channel, and then use a thumb screw or a wing nut or something so that you could have side to side movement of the camera. But I've only got one rifle and one camera, so it does me fine. If you've got any questions about my rifle setup or you just want to see it, click the link at the end of the video or the link that's in the video description, and in the next video I'll be back hunting. Thanks for watching.